you started out the gate really strong, a lot of motion, spreading the offensive wide. I even heard that Coach Saban said that you had him confused. Then all of a sudden it kind of seemed like it stopped. Was that something intentional on your part, or was Alabama doing something to negate that at that point?
Well, we had 40 plays in the first half, and we did. We had some. They were, I don't know if they were confused, but we had them on the ropes a little bit, and then we didn't do a very good job in the red zone. Monday, keys to victory. First thing I said, we needed touchdowns in the red zone to win this game. And then the second half, we never got kind of any kind of rhythm, nothing. Then after the pick six, I got out of rhythm. Looks like I told them all after the game, hey, I can do better. I will continue to do better. Went to every position group after the game, and that's what I told them. And that's really what happened. Then we didn't get into – Alabama did a great job on some of the things that we did in the second half, and they adjusted. They did a good job. But at the end of the day, we have to be better. Come in at the same as that first half, and then we've got to convert on third down. We converted on really two good third downs in that first half. In the second half, even when they matched us a couple times, it's a throw and catch, like the catch that Isaiah Epps had against that team. You got to have about 2 or 3 more of those.
John Clay.
Eddie, when you looked at the video, how did you think your quarterbacks played, especially Joey and Bo? I know it's a tough situation to put them in there like that, but overall, looking at the video, what do you think of it?
Yeah, it is. It is a tough. You said it exactly. It's a tough situation. We didn't help them out. At the end of the day, there was things everywhere. Alabama was part of the problem, and when we had a chance to protect it, we didn't. We didn't get out of a break once. Bo had a really good timing on one of his passes. We just didn't help him. We had a drop with Joey, so it was a combination of being tough, but to come in that situation to do what they did, they were pinning their ears back. After that it got away, it was just tough. But I like the way I like their attitude on the sideline, both of them. They were great, and they just wanted to have an opportunity to be successful, and I got to continue helping them be that way, and everybody's got to be almost perfect, like I said, against a team like Alabama.
To follow up on that, what about Terry? How did you think Terry played up until the pick six anyway?
I thought that we could have made a couple throws. Terry wishes he would have had back. We had Josh on the inside fame route early on that first drive. Wish would have come back, and he missed a read where that he would love to have back. I mean, he's thrown it for 3 weeks straight, and he's kicking himself, and I again, it always comes back to those quarterbacks. They have to play great in a game like that. But at the same time, coaches, I'm going to take responsibility too to continue to try to help him get better. And if he'll do that, I think he's going to come back this week, and I'm really excited. He was excited today and had a great day.
Josh.
Eddie, Florida's one of these teams, and I think Alabama was, and there's a few others in the league that's really seems like it's taking it to another level offensively. And I guess what do you see from those teams just watching them that's changed in how they approach, and maybe why hasn't that been as easy for you guys to be able to do that?
Yeah, just different in terms of personnel and philosophy. And, you've got to, if you throw it 40, 50 times a game, then, that's your philosophy. Ours is more when you saw the first 40 plays of the game, it's play, action, pass. We had them moving. We had some good motions and shifts. We ran the ball well. And if we execute on a couple red zone plays and again, if I call it better, and you can always go back and say that, but it's always going to be on me. So I'm okay with that. I'm working to get better each and every day. What those guys can do better, and they know it too. But at the end of the day, 40 plays, and if we scored 3 times right there, you're not asking that question. But it's just right now that's not who we are.
Nick,
You brought up Isaiah's contested catches earlier. How have you just seen him progress throughout this year?
Yeah, I think you might have even asked me last week. Once he finally got healthy, he made two great catches today. Just his confidence level. I think that was the big thing. He's on and off, getting hurt, and you'd see it was consistency for him, and now he just looks like he's a lot more confident in what he's doing. And man, I was so happy for him. And he came out again today, practiced really well. So you need that top end speed, because we talked about that last week too. Somebody asked me what he brings, and he brings some speed.
This isn't really related to Isaiah, but Florida's defense, Todd Grant, pretty feast or famine. How do you counterpunch the exotic blitzes that he throws at you?
Yeah, you got to be right. Number one, you better communicate, and thank God for our center, because he's really good, and he's in there every day, been since Sunday, because he knows. And Todd does a fantastic job. We've been at each other so many times, and if you don't communicate and you don't understand where these guys are coming from, they can make you look silly. So I'm glad that our center and our guys, we take pride in that. Where we just don't have guys free. That's the one thing I can't stand in blitz. I get it if you get beat. Our technique's got to be great against these guys and all that. But when you just let free guys go, that's bad ball. So we'll have to be on point against Todd for sure.
John Clay,
Eddie, after a game like that, with the video, how much of it is a teaching tape, and how much of it is you can just throw it to the side and move on to the next game?
Yeah, well, there were some great teaching moments in there, because we did some good things. So you take the positive and you come with a great attitude, and that's what I did. And I told each and every one of them, it's a teaching tape not only for players, but it is for coaches. Right after the game, I went to every single position group and I said, you know what, I've got to be better. And that's the bottom line. That's the great thing about this game. It's very humbling, and one week you're a GOAT. And the next week, everybody's really excited about you. And we're going to keep grinding, and we're going to keep finding a way. And our kids, for them to come out after a game like that and their attitude, the way they came out Monday and the way they came out today, man, they're freaking awesome. I love them. And we're going to go out and we're going to fight, and we're going to find a way to get this done, get that ball in the end zone.
John Hale,
Eddie, with Coach Shaganitsi being in now this late in the season, how can he help you just in offensive line philosophy? I imagine what you guys do doesn't really change, but what is the benefit of having another voice in there right now?
Number one, just for those guys, you got a guy that's been in the NFL. He's been a college head football coach, an O-line guy, and they're all the same. They all have the same lingo. They all act the same, and so I think that was really good for them, for him to get in there, and that was the biggest thing. Him being in that room relieved me a little bit of that, and I think those guys, they really respect him and his ideas. We've got a couple things that we've tried that we're going to continue to build on, and that's always good. To be able to expand, to be able to open up your mind and get outside that box a little bit. We've been doing a lot of things the same way, and just a couple nuances I think has helped our guys.
John Long,
Eddie, Mark said yesterday that even when the game got out of hand, you still had guys who were playing hard. Would you agree with that assessment? And who were the guys on your end who were playing hard?
Well, as a coach, unfortunately, after 37-ish years, something like that, I've been through a couple of those games, and it really is it bites. It's not good. And the first thing you look for is that you go around, you look at your kids in your eyes, and you talk about competing, and on every play you're putting your resume up there, and they're just I didn't see anybody on our side of the ball that was doing that. They were giving everything they had, and I made sure that they understood that, after the game, and then after we watched the film, then you really can see that they were battling all the way to the last play.
Yeah, it's been a hard year on everybody, you especially, and we see you every Tuesday as the OC, but you've got other things going on in your life too. How are you doing, and what are you doing to deal with all this emotional stress and to maintain your mental health?
Yeah, you know what? First of all, I don't read anything. I know it must be bad because I get texts from some friends from all over the country, and but you know, at the end of the day, man, I just keep chopping wood. I trust in God. I trust He's got a great plan, and that's where all my strength comes from. It's hard. I battle voices, but at the end of the day, that's who I'm going to trust. And you know, I'm going to do my best for the University of Kentucky each and every day. And you know, our job is to go out there and get better this week, and that's what we're going to try to do. So the kids have been awesome. Our players are phenomenal. I try to keep a great attitude, and that's all you can do. You know, this is a tough business, and if you got the faint of heart, you're not gonna last. So it's part of the job. It's part of the position that I have, and you know, people make decisions, and I'm going to do what I got to do to make this football team better each and every week, and I go from there.
Now we got two more, Jeff Drummond and then Derek Terry.
Yeah, Eddie, it seemed like there may have been some frustration kind of boiling over with AJ after the game. Was that something that you had to kind of get with him about? And
Well, first of all, again, I don't read anything. I don't look at it. So I didn't find out anything till I think it was Sunday night, maybe. And you know, AJ was reiterating what I said. I went to every position group after the game and said, I got to do better. I'm going to be better play caller. Man, you guys keep continuing to grind. And I don't even know what he said, but that's all he said that he said. He said, just coach said that, you know, we got to be better. That he's got to be better, that Eddie Gran has to be better. That's what I told every single one of them. And I believe that's just what he was reiterating.
if I could follow up with you real quick with him, he seemed to be pretty productive.
I thought I totally concur. I thought it was one of his best games that he's had. He ran hard. He was physical. He looked fast. I was really proud of him. You know, after the game, I texted him. I told him I just got done watching it on the plane, and I said, "Man, I thought you ran hard. I thought you did some really good things. You had really good protection." So I was really excited for the kid. He deserves it.
All right, we'll wrap up with Derek.
Eddie, Mark said you guys have been down 2 or 3 offensive coaches at various points, I think since the Tennessee game. With that, and then sometimes, you know, with players, you don't always know they're going to be available. How hard has it been to develop an offense during this kind of COVID year?
Well, no excuses. Has it been hard? Yes. Everybody's got to adapt, and that's, I promise you, that's what we're trying to do. It's been the darndest thing I've ever been a part of, but there's zero excuses here. Bottom line is I got to get better. We got to get better as a staff, and it has. We've had guys in and out for the last 3-4 weeks, but we're not the only staff that's been like that. So just let's keep grinding and keep chopping wood and try to make us better each and every week.
All right, guys, we'll get players.
Thank you all very much.